difficulty that seems to be met when it comes to obeying the rule of law or sticking by it. I mean, today, even in the papers, Macharia, where, there's a wealth of example. Again, the IG of police and the DCI boss are being asked to come to court to explain a certain matter. Whether they show up or not is a whole different kettle of fish. The IEBC is standing before us and telling us that we are saying no to this with a heavy hand, but there are examples of it having been shown over the last couple of weeks, and they seem not to be able to do anything about it. Why is it so difficult to obey the rule of law?
For me, the answer is simple, that it is not that it is difficult to obey the law, but rather that there's no intention to obey the law in the first place. Now, the reason why I say so is because it starts from the top, the leadership itself at the top. The president, actually, to me, is the biggest culprit here. What will always happen in an institution, the tone is set from the top. Whether it's a company, whether it's a public institution, whether it's a family, whatever it is the tone that is set at the top. It matters not what a leader would say. What is of major consequences, the action. The words and the action must match. Now, when you have a president who is oversighting a country where, breaking the law has become the order of the day, that becomes the cue that has been set, even for the other people who are below him. Now, if you look at all the institutions that are supposed to hold, to make sure that the accountability mechanism is working, I would say with the measure of confidence that they've been swallowed by the executive. And it starts even with the quality of the appointments that are made to those institutions. You'll find that if, the more incompetent a person is, or, if they have a bad history, that indeed is a qualification for the appointment to those institutions. Now, I looked at the recent report, for instance, that was made by the Public Service Commission, which had been commissioned by the court, the Employment and Labor Relations Court. They were asked, somebody who had filed a case against the Office of the Attorney General. Remember, the Attorney General is the chief legal advisor under the Constitution. This is the person who is supposed to be, that office is the one that is supposed to be advising all the other government agencies.
Yeah.
Now, so somebody filed a complaint saying that there had been irregular recruitment of people in that office. The Public Service Commission then was sent to go and do an audit. Now, what did they come up with in terms of the report? They said that people who had never applied for jobs ended up being appointed, meaning that those who had applied were left out and positions were given to people who had never applied in the first place. Now, secondly, there was another category of people who were not even qualified for the position. They did not have the academic credentials or qualifications for that matter, and they were given positions that they did not qualify for. Now, remember, this is an office that is supposed to be oversighting other institutions, other government agencies in the government, and they are at the forefront in breaking the law themselves. The same also was said in terms of an audit that was said at the ODPP. Now, these are two critical offices. Now, if this can break the law, then what do you expect of other institutions? Now, I saw, you've seen this case that has been ongoing regarding the Speaker of National Assembly.
Yes.
This is somebody who is at the apex of an institution that is ensured, that is supposed to, that is given the powers to legislate and ensure that the law itself is working. Yet, this is the same person who is going around campaigning, breaking the law, being partisan, where even orders are being issued, the person does not care. Then how then would you expect the others to behave? Now, you come to the police service. The National Police Service is supposed to be independent. It's supposed to ensure that the law is working, this maintenance of law and order. Yet you see these hooded people, and you remember that under Schedule 6 of the National Police Service Act, every police officer is supposed to ensure that they even have an identity tag, you should be clear that you're able to identify them. But they are going around attacking people when they are hooded with these balaclavas. And then the next day, the National Police Service is issuing a statement, saying that we are here to ensure there is a maintenance of law and order.
Yes.
Police will ensure that goons are not, the goons will not be allowed to operate. Now, you are the National Police Service. You are the Speaker of National Assembly. You're supposed to ensure the law is working. You're the Attorney General. You're supposed to ensure that you're the forefront in obeying the law yourself. You're the ODPP. You're supposed to take action against those who are breaking the law. Now, you have a president who will tell you, times without number, that we are a country of the rule of law. We'll take you to Singapore. Yet, the actions of all these agencies, the actions of all these people are not in tandem with the words that they are pronouncing. I would say that we are a country that actually is on a downward spiral. Where this total breakdown of law and order, and if urgent action is actually not taken by 2027, we'll have no country to speak about. And I'm not just I'm not exaggerating. It's a reality. Every single day when you look at how things are working, particularly now when you see that goons are running, amok in the country, they are walking around and you can even identify them. And then a minister who is responsible for interior security says that don't cry foul. Everybody has goons,
All of
them.
Yeah.
Those in government, those who are not in government. This is a cabinet secretary in charge, who is responsible for ensuring that safety and security of Kenyans is guaranteed. You are even a lawyer. There's even a lawyer, somebody who has practiced law. This fellow was even a lecturer, was teaching law.
Yeah.
Then he is standing and saying that we don't need to, let's not pretend everybody has goons. You've been given the instruments of power to ensure that the safety and security for Kenyans. You can't be crying when everybody else is crying.
Yeah.
The rest of us can complain because we are outside. But you are the one who is responsible. You've been given the resources. Now, if you are crying, what will Kenyans do? Now, for me, the answer is simple, that unless and until the day we're able to hold people to account, ensuring that there is accountability, that the institutions are making sure that people are held to account, then there's no hope for us.
Okili, one would ask the question, if we talk